Oh, I gotta find my script here. Good evening. This is the September 11th meeting of the Needham Conservation Commission. I'm Dave Hare, Conservation Commission Chair. As a reminder, this meeting is being recorded for later viewing and administrative purposes and will be available on the town's YouTube channel. Before we get started, I want to confirm the presence of members and staff. When I call your name, please respond. Sue,
Here.
Clary,
Here.
Reed,
Here.
Bill,
Here.
Fred,
Here.
Paulina. Not yet, and Deb? Not here, or was she here? Oh, I see her. Okay, and Tim?
I'm here.
Oh,
All right.
I'm sorry. I didn't hear. Did you say Deb?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Here.
All supporting materials have been provided to the commission members and are available on the commission website. Here are a few ground rules for our meeting tonight. I'll open each hearing on the agenda, introduce the applicant and or their consultant, and then they can begin their presentation. After conclusion of the applicant's presentation, I will call on the staff and then on the commission members to provide their comments or questions. Please raise your hand or wait until your name is called. After comments or questions from the staff and commission, I will solicit comments from the public. Please raise your hand if you wish to comment. Please wait until the chair yields the floor to you and state your name before speaking. Also, please mute your phone or computer when not speaking. Finally, each vote taken during this meeting will be conducted by a roll call vote. Okay. Let's move to the agenda. The first item we have is minutes. I believe there were some minutes from the August 28th meeting that were circulated.
Right. Yep. And Sue provided comments that were integrated. So
All
I
right.
didn't hear back from anyone else.
I think there's something that has not been amended at the end. When I saw what Kristen had sent back, it deals with the electronic signatures. It just refers to COC signatures, that it should be changed, that it involves all signatures
Okay.
in the minutes. That's it.
Okay.
Okay, good. So assuming we make that change, can somebody make a motion to approve the minutes?
So moved. Second.
Okay, let's vote. Bill,
Aye.
Clary,
Aye.
Sue,
I
Reed,
Aye.
Fred,
Aye.
and the chair votes aye. Okay. Next item, we have a enforcement order that we had discussed somewhat for 27 Bell Lane.
Yeah.
A draft has been prepared by Deb, I believe, and circulated.
I did not circulate it. So this is just under our bylaw because there isn't any Wetlands Protection Act jurisdiction. And this area that was disturbed, the upland forested buffer, isn't within our jurisdiction, but it is a special condition under their local order of conditions. So instead of filling out the enforcement order form provided by DEP, I did see that previously on another property that was just under our local jurisdiction, that they just drafted a letter. So that's what I was working on. And it includes our conditions that there be 2 years of monitoring once the plantings are installed. And also currently there's only 2 permanent bounds at either end of this this section of the upland area. So I'm requiring that they put in a total of 5 permanent bounds to define that area. We did find the special condition in their order of conditions requiring they either put in a split rail fence to define that area or another method that is approved by the Conservation Commission. So if they're not interested in putting in a split rail fence, they at least need to put in the permanent bounds. So I got in touch with Paul McManus, their consultant, earlier today to see what the applicants would like to propose for that demarcation. He was going to reach out to them. They have not done the plantings at this time. So essentially, we need you to vote to ratify the enforcement order, and then I can send it out once I get that clarification from Paul.
Okay, sounds good. Any comments or questions?
When are they doing the plantings?
I don't know. I assumed that they would be doing, I mean, we need to require that they do them this fall. So we'll have a, you know, what date do you guys want me to put in there to require that the plantings are completed by?
I might suggest before October. Is
Okay.
that reasonable? Like before October 12th or something, before it gets cold? It's been kind of cold lately, but
Yeah, okay.
What are there a lot of trees in this planting plan? I can't remember.
I think there was like
Um,
5 or 6.
Just
yeah, I guess they had taken down 6 trees, so they're replacing the trees and then they're installing a lot of shrubs as well. And some seed mix.
So you're Paulina, you're suggesting by November 1st. That seems-
October 1st.
Yeah.
I was
October
gonna
1st.
I was gonna suggest like mid or to early October. I think usually it's like October 15th. I don't know why that date's in my head.
I mean,
But-
trees do very well if they're planted pretty late into the fall, I thought. But
Well, if we're hoping for the seed mix to take
oh,
any kind of hold before winter.
Well, the seed
but the
mix.
seed mix that's just gonna lay dormant all winter and come up in the spring.
Yeah, it might. I mean, usually
Unless-
some seed overwinter as well.
Why
Like
don't we,
Yeah.
it needs to overwinter, but
So
Why
we
don't we
want
say,
the
like-
area as stable as we can get it.
say like no later than October 15th?
Okay,
All
so
right,
just, yeah, go ahead.
if there's no further discussion, somebody want to make a motion to issue the enforcement order,
To ratify the enforcement order.
to ratify the enforcement order?
So moved.
Second,
Okay, let's vote. Clary,
Aye.
Bill,
Aye.
Sue,
Aye.
Reed,
Aye.
Fred,
aye.
Helena,
hi.
and the chair votes aye. Okay. Good. As far as hearings go, unfortunately, 109 Heather Lane did not, there was some snafu with regard to the newspaper announcement, and so that hearing will be opened on September 25th, 2025. 64 Winfield Street, did they get a DEP file number?
They did.
Yes, about 3 hours ago.
What is it?
It is 234954.
Okay, so let's open a hearing for 64 Winfield Street, DEP file 234. I forgot the number.
954.
954. It's a notice of intent. I guess we had discussed this previously, and there were some concerns and comments. I don't know if the commissioners want another presentation of this, or just open it up for further comments or questions.
Can we request that the person presenting just give us a high level review?
Sure. Is that Nicole?
Yes, I can do that for you.
Okay.
Can I share my screen?
Yeah, please go ahead.
And just introduce yourself for the record.
Yep. Okay. My name is Nicole Hayes. I'm a professional wetland scientist with Goddard Consulting. Here with you with a notice of intent for the Price Center. So last time we were talking about the proposed work is this proposed addition right in through here, and also this patio area, and it is for disabled adults. And I will show you the existing conditions. So it's the whole site is within the riverfront area. This is the river, the 100-foot riverfront area. The river's right in through here. This is the 100-foot riverfront area, the 200-foot riverfront area. So this is the proposed addition and the proposed patio. There's going to be a total of 764 square feet of impact within the riverfront area. And we are proposing a more than 2-to-1 mitigation planting, which will go right in through here. And I can show you. Yep, see, so it's 1,580 square feet of restoration. All of this proposed work is in existing lawn. No trees will be taken down. These trees will all stay. And we are going to be collecting all the roof runoff on the roof and the addition, and we're going to be putting it into this drainage system. And the patio will have a drain that will also go to the drainage system. We added the stockpile here that was requested at the last hearing. And that's a basic overall rundown of the project.
Okay, thanks, Nicole. Deb or Tim, do you have any comments, final comments?
Well, Dave, you probably know. So they're only infiltrating the rear of the existing house in the addition.
That's correct.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I looked over the proposed stormwater plan and suggested a couple of revisions that were made. And so, in my opinion, it's compliant with our regulations and the town regulations, the stormwater bylaw.
Okay. So the only thing that I think needs to be added to the plan is the permanent demarcation along the restoration area. You know, it's up to you to propose what you want to put there. But I would say if you were going to use granite bounds, that you should have a minimum of 5 bounds. But if you would like to propose something else, that's up to you. And that should be added to the plan. All the additional information, the updated plan will need 2 hard copies as well.
May I?
Yeah.
Deb Crossley, may I
Oh, yeah,
respond to
sure.
that? Thank you. I have already drafted a planting plan which shows clusters of boulders so that it looks a little more natural along that curve. I think I have at least 5 clusters, so I would propose that we do that instead of granite bounds, if I may.
So that's up to the commission if they feel.
Yeah. Okay, well, let me ask commissioners now. Clary, you have your hand up.
Yes, Nicole, thank you for the presentation. Out of curiosity, Does it fall within a flood zone area?
No,
Okay. And there's no historical flood in this area at all?
no,
Or accumulation of water? Wonderful. Okay. And in terms of the bounds, I prefer established physical bounds that cannot be removed, but I'll defer to the commissioner.
Okay, thanks, Clary. Any other comments or questions from Commissioner Sue?
Somehow placards should be put on those boulders to
I think
demarcate that.
that is part of the special conditions.
Okay.
All right, anybody else?
Um,
Bill?
can't find- Are the boulders big boulders? Can they move the boulders?
Well,
you
if
know, if you
they
cut in the-
means, oh, go ahead, sorry.
If you're cutting the grass, wouldn't it be easier to have a straight line than these curves? Maybe that makes it look better and that's why you included them. But I would imagine that if on one side of the infiltration thing, there was a straight line and then a straight line on the other side, it would be easier to establish the boundary. And then when people come and they cut the grass and then, you know, it's a landscaper of some type. They'll know where to go.
Should I respond to that?
Yes.
I do a lot of gardens, actually. I'm an architect, but as a hobby and actually a preference in these days, I do a lot of landscaping only projects. My intention is there will be a clear line. This will be an easy curve to manage with a reasonable size lawnmower. I was trying to make it look more natural, so it's part of the woods. Otherwise, I don't know, it kind of defeats the purpose of what we're doing here, in my mind, anyway. The clientele here, when you say, can they move the boulders? I may assume you might be meaning the landscape people. I think it will be made very clear that we're not moving. The boulders will be like edging, but they would be in clusters so that they look a little more naturalized as opposed to a garden edge. I haven't done this for a conservation commission before, so I'm listening to what you think is the right thing to do. But it's a very big curve, so I don't think it will be difficult to mow along it.
Okay.
All right, thanks. Helena, you have your hand up.
Yes, I was just gonna say, I mean, as long as those boulders demarcate where, as you know, the boundary, and we can install the plaques on them, I don't have a problem with them using boulders.
Okay,
What
thanks.
are the plaques? Can you describe the plaques to me? I'm sorry, I don't think I've seen one.
Yeah, they're flat, circular, probably about this size. And they say conservation area, pretty much no disturb.
Okay, and how
And
do you
so-
affix them?
We have a special glue that you can also purchase.
Okay,
So you would put them on the boulders facing out so that anyone walking up to them would know what that area designates.
okay,
All right,
so I would need 5 of them.
Correct.
We purchased them from the town.
Yep, from my office. They're $5 each, and the glue I think is $10.
No problem, thank you.
Yep.
all right, anybody else? Any comments? No, how about anybody in the audience? Have their hand up? No?
Tim, you gotta let them know if anyone has their hands up.
Oh, sorry. I thought nobody's no.
Okay.
Just
So-
just Sue.
I think
I
that's
didn't put-
an artifact, right?
Oh.
I'm
Here,
sorry?
Sorry.
I can put it down for you. There you go.
There
Okay,
we go.
so no further comments. Can I have a motion to close the hearing for 64 Winfield Street?
So moved.
Second,
Okay, let's vote. Sue,
Aye.
Clary,
Aye.
Paulina,
aye.
Deb, excuse me, Paulina, Bill,
Aye.
Fred,
Aye.
Reed,
Aye.
and chair votes aye. Okay, so we might take up the order of conditions later in the meeting. Okay. Moving forward, we have 0 Locust Lane.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Take care. 0 Locust Lane, request for a determination of applicability. I believe we have Bill Giesenheimer here, Giesentimer, excuse me, if I mispronounced your name. We had discussed this a couple weeks ago. I think the big issue was there was there were no abutter notifications, but that has been resolved. And so I don't know if the commission wants to review the project again. I know that Tim had put some notes forward as far as some things he suggested that the commission consider prior to acting on this request. So if anybody wants to see the project site again,
Or are we, hold on one, sorry, we have someone with a hand up in the audience. Bill, is Andrea Dannenberg part of this application?
She's on the board and an abutter.
Okay. Okay, I just wanted to clarify this wasn't someone who was hoping to get up here and present with you.
okay. So anyway, any of the commissioners want to review the scope of the project again? Or-
Yes, I'm sorry, but yes, I would like a high-level overview so we can close today with a motion if we need to.
I don't know if did we review this project? I thought because the abutters were not notified, we didn't even review
Right.
the project.
Yeah. Do we
So I
do we
don't-
need to open it? Sorry if we already did that. I missed it.
Oh,
We
I think
didn't.
we did
Okay.
discuss it. We did
Wait.
look, but can you put up the
The materials were given to you, but it has not been opened yet. And it is now you can officially discuss
it.
this
Okay.
item.
Then yes, please.
can you put that up, Bill?
But Dave, do you need to open it though?
Well, let's
Yeah.
say it's open, yeah.
All right.
So you see my screen?
Yep.
So that's the existing condition. These cross sections of pine logs that had fallen, a pine tree that had fallen down were cut and used as fill into the trail. They are slippery. As you can see, there's algae and growth on top of them. They're wobbly, and people are really quite frightened to walk on them sometimes. And we actually have a big event coming up in October. So we really would like to get this to be a safer situation. The proposal is a punch-in boardwalk. It's a very simple structure. These logs underneath are pressure treated. And there's one every 8 feet, so it will reduce the amount of fill a great amount. It also allows water to flow underneath. Here's a photograph of a finished punch-in boardwalk. It defines the trail and it keeps people on the trail. Right now, people, to avoid the wafers, as I call them, the logs that are sitting on the trail, they're actually walking further and further out into the wetland to avoid walking on the logs. I think it's very simple, very straightforward. I think that's pretty much it.
I have a quick question. Has this gone the portion that's in Wellesley? Did that need to go
Yes.
before the Wellesley Wetlands Committee?
Yes, that happened last week and they had a negative determination.
Okay, thank you.
Hey, Bill, just to clarify, you were planning to use black locust, right? For the law?
Yes,
Not,
yeah, black locust I prefer because it lasts about 4 times as long as pressure treated, and you don't have to worry about sawdust or anything as you're working on the site. So there's no chemicals involved. A lot of advantages to black locust. It costs more than twice as much as pressure treated, but if it lasts 4 times as long, you're win-win all the way.
all right, let's go to the commissioners for any comments. Sue?
A quick question, do the wafers have to be removed or not? Or can the board, the plank, be constructed over them?
Well, I'd rather remove them because they're fill. They're in the wetland. I would remove them and put them in an upland area so they can decompose and add to the nutrients in the soil. Where they are, they're actually hindering, and they're acting as fill. So I think I have a figure here like how much fill it is.
480.
480 cubic feet of fill total.
How deep are they?
They're 4 to 6 inches deep.
Okay, any other questions?
Thank you.
Bill, you had a question?
I walked that trail today, took my dog for a walk there. It's beautiful woods and goes by a beautiful pond. And some of the wafers, people have taken them out of the middle already, so they won't slip on them, and they are slippery. And I think they put them over to the side, and in the middle, there's no wafers. They do move around, and they seem easy to move. I think one of the questions is the new boardwalk. It seemed there's a lot of water in the spring that might flow over the trail as it makes its way to the pond or wherever it goes. And some of the questions were, would that boardwalk be high enough to allow the water to go under without diverting it, which might be the reason why the wafers were chosen in the first place? Is that something that people have looked at?
Yeah, so I've been involved with the land trust for about the last 8 years. And those wafers were put in about 6 years ago. And they were put in as a sort of, so there was a big pine tree that blew down. And the person that was working at the time just cut these wafers and put them there. It was sort of a solution of an opportune solution. It wasn't thought out. No one tried to go through the Conservation Commission. It was just done because the tree had fallen down and it was there. So I've been at this site in all weather. There's never water flowing in this area. It's just wet and muddy. So the Puncheon Boardwalk it has space underneath it here where water could flow. And the puncheons are just every 8 feet. So there's lots of places for the water to flow if it were to flow.
Okay, thanks. Reed, you have a question?
Yeah, so sorry, this is just a question for Tim. So Tim, if we approve it or make it a negative determination, right, this would be a limited project under CMR 10.53, right?
Yes, so that would be the footbridges and catwalks could be considered a negative project as an RDA with those
Yeah,
conditions.
but there'd still be an order of conditions though with sort of our just sort of base conditions, though, right?
Yeah, Deb, I think we talked about this briefly, that there's perhaps 3 or so conditions that could be tacked on. Not as like a full order of conditions, but sort of special conditions
Right.
to
I
this
mean, a
project.
negative determination usually you can put in 3 conditions. but just keep in mind, there is no as-built, there's no real follow-up, because it's just a RDA. So there isn't really any closing out of the project. But we can add a couple conditions.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if we need to, I want to make sure that, yeah, there's just, since this is happening in a wetland, I just want to make sure that there, we have something. Okay, yeah, that's all I had. But
Thanks.
otherwise, yeah, exciting project. Yeah, it needs to be done, so appreciate you taking the time to do it.
Okay, thanks. Clary, any comments?
Yes, a question from Bill. If you go to the top picture, the picture that shows, is this a totally flat area? Is it a 2-to-1 ratio? Is there an incline? Because it's not clear to me from this picture. Or is it pretty flat?
It's very flat.
Okay. All right. I have no further questions, and I have no concerns with the project the way it has been presented.
Okay, anybody else? I said last time, I've been out to the site and I agree that this is sort of a hazardous area. I almost fell twice myself. I believe this project's going to be an improvement. It's going to reduce the amount of fill. Getting rid of those wafers will allow some new growth to occur. The boardwalk or puncheon is going to be 8 to 10 inches above grade, so that would provide sufficient room for water. There's literally hundreds of these things installed around New England. I've personally installed over a dozen of them, so I think it's a pretty conventional approach. All right, is there anybody, Tim, is there anybody in the audience that has any their hand up?
No audience members with their hands up. If anybody wants to, do so now. Okay, I'm not seeing anything.
Okay,
So Andrea had her hand up earlier, and what she was going to say is, we're going to use her site, which is 131 Locust, as the staging site, so that lumber will be delivered into her driveway and stored in the back of her yard. And she's also said, because she's on our board, she's also said we can use her electricity for any cutting.
okay, great. If there's no further comments, I would entertain a motion to issue a negative determination of applicability for 0 Locust Lane.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, let's vote. Clary,
Aye.
Paulina,
Aye.
Bill,
Aye.
Fred,
Aye.
Reed,
Aye.
Sue,
Aye.
and the chair votes aye. Okay, anything else regarding this?
Are there any special conditions that you want me to put in there when we issue the negative determination?
So what are the 3
I-
conditions we put in?
I mean, usually we'll put something like notify us 3 days prior to the start of work if we want to request any erosion controls while they're doing the work.
Yeah.
Lay down area.
Yeah, they're
They-
usually very general
Yeah.
conditions.
I guess the question I have for Bill, if I may, is you mentioned you would scatter these around the upland areas. Could we scatter them enough so that they don't have clusters? That's more kind of like best management practice, if you will, instead of putting a big bundle in one place. That's all I can think of. Other than that, I don't have any other comments.
Yeah, no,
I
I
don't-
agree. I don't,
Okay, sorry. Tim, did you have any concerns if they are gonna be removing all of those, as far as using erosion controls?
Yeah, my only thought was that since they are 4, sometimes 6 inches deep, you'll have all these sort of pits in the ground, which could be loose and disturbed soil. So my question was, is the full removal of all of them needed, or just where the sleeper logs would be? If this could be considered potentially, especially just the areas with this could be an area that if a flooding event could wash a lot of new disturbed soil on one side of the path or the other.
But, I mean, I don't know if you recall the photograph, they're basically sitting in muck.
No, we went there. So Tim and I were there and we did lift them up and got a good sense of,
It's pretty
what the
flat. It's
existing
pretty flat
conditions
there.
are.
Yeah, it's very flat. It's extra work for us to remove them. But I think it's a good idea because I think they're preventing growth. They're,
Infiltration, actually, they're preventing infiltration, in my opinion. So for a wetland, in my opinion, it would be preferable if the structure is removed. But again, I'll defer to the commission.
Yeah, well,
Mhm.
I think
I think part of our concern was if you're removing those and you're putting a boardwalk over it, there's not gonna be any growth of vegetation beneath that boardwalk.
Yeah.
So you're just gonna have kind of disturbed pitted soil beneath it. And, it's being raised enough so that water can go through there. So what's gonna be stopping that sediment from washing into the wetland?
gravity. It's flat.
Okay.
The water's not gonna be moving. And in fact, it's like slightly channelized, or compacted. So, there would have to be a force of water to start moving that material.
We do have monsoons now, though.
Well, I mean,
the water level would rise,
Yeah,
but there's no flow because it's
Yeah.
flat.
I agree. Fred, you have your hand up?
Yes, I was just, now that we are talking about it in more detail, I was just wondering, is the boardwalk going to end up sitting on the ground because the logs that are supporting it are going to settle into these indentations, or are the logs diameter enough that it, even though you're starting 6 inches down, you're still going to be raising it up significantly? You follow my point?
Yeah. I mean, I could address that. I mean, the muck does have the bearing strength, even though it looks like muck.
But the muck's going to be 6 inches below grade in some places once you lift the wafers out.
Yeah, but again, these logs will sit on top of the muck, and because this isn't a heavy structure, they generally don't sink too far into the muck.
Okay.
That's been my experience.
All right.
The muck does have a bearing capacity that,
Sure.
is quite a bit more than what people think.
Okay.
Helena, you got your hand up?
I agree with Deb. I think even if you remove them and then put a boardwalk on top, nothing's gonna grow underneath it. That's just been my experience walking on boardwalks. I love them. My other question is, so they're wafers, so how thick are they? Are they like embedded into the ground, or are they just on top like little stepping stones?
They're 4 to 6 inches.
Okay.
Most of them, I think, are less than 4, and they're sitting right on top. They're
Yeah,
not
so-
embedded.
Oh,
So I
they're
don't
not
know-
embedded.
No,
Okay.
they
Yeah,
are
so
embedded.
I don't know if removing them will help with infiltration. I feel like water will still be able to infiltrate underneath them and around them. So I don't know. I'll defer to Deb and the rest of the commission, but I don't know if it's. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, sorry, that's it. I'm just thinking out loud. But if they're just sitting on top, I don't think They are kind of like Bill, if they can remove them, great, but I don't think anything's gonna grow there afterwards. And
No,
I don't
but
think it'll improve infiltration either, so.
I don't think infiltration is really an issue. It's a wetland, you know, it's not gonna infiltrate much anyway. That's why it's a wetland. So,
And the wafers are wider than the boardwalk. The boardwalk's 4 feet wide. In some places, the wafers are 6 feet wide. So, you know, I think I really want to get rid of them.
yeah, I know, I think it's an aesthetic issue as well.
Yeah, I personally, I don't think I have a problem with them getting rid of it. But, because it doesn't sound like they're holding anything down either. They're not deep enough to hold soil, but that's just my opinion.
Okay, so, Deb, you're gonna draft a negative determination.
Yeah, it isn't something that normally you review.
Okay.
You usually just vote to issue it, and if there were any conditions you guys wanted me to add to it, I would. How long do you picture this taking?
So I'd like to start as soon as I can, which I have to order the lumber and it'll take probably a week or two for that to be milled and brought. Like to finish by the middle of October, so pretty quick.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Thanks, Bill.
We look
Thank
forward
you.
to, we look forward to seeing the finished product.
I do too.
Thank
Thank you for your work.
And for yours.
Okay, now we'll move to other business. Tim, you were gonna continue our discussion on the electronic signatures issue.
Yeah, so I didn't have any new updates. Sort of, I said to you guys in my email, I have a training tomorrow with DEP about using their online portal for submissions, and I'll have the chance to talk with the people that deal with the paperwork, any questions that come up. And one of the agents in a neighboring town that I was hoping to get some sample documents from is away on her honeymoon this week. So unfortunately, I don't have those samples to replicate and bring to us. But I was able to share with you all the close of last meeting, some of the procedural documents, and I just wanted to see if any of you had a chance to look those over, and if you had any questions or any items for me to follow up. And with all things going well, perhaps at our next meeting, if I can get any answers chased down, we could formally deliberate on it. But yeah, Sue.
Question, with the electronic signatures, are those for the commission, the conservation commissions that are remote
Remote or hybrid,
or hybrid? Okay,
since those are the only two options currently.
okay, thanks.
Tim, I haven't been able to look at those carefully, so I'm gonna hold my comments, and probably email them if you deem that okay.
No, absolutely. And like I said, the same verbatim agenda item, I'll just keep on the agenda for the next hearing, because it's, covers the basis of discussion and possible adoption. But yeah, if anybody had any things that you wanted me to figure out or get answered from the state,
I'm
I
ready.
gotta.
I'm ready
Yeah.
to vote.
Yeah, well, I'm not, because I want to make sure that I have all the documents sort of, like with the other things, drafted and ready to go, which unfortunately, I don't have anything, Needham certificate of vote ready to enact. Yeah, but Sue.
Me again. Last question. Does Wellesley have it? The electronic signatures? Well,
Yeah.
the sources.
Yeah.
Those.
Yeah,
Do they do?
yeah.
Do most surrounding towns use it now?
Not necessarily.
Okay. Dedham, does Dedham use it, Tim?
Dedham does.
Okay,
So after a roll call vote, that would be, your roll call vote would be your binding signature that then the staff would wet sign over the electronic printout.
okay. Thanks.
All right. So we'll continue this discussion. Next item, Trails Advisory Group update. Tim, you want to?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so a few items on the Trails Advisory Group. Let's see. So one thing, I guess, with good news from Dave, all the legwork he's been putting in is paying off because a vendor has been fully approved to install wooden posts at trail intersections and minor entrances at Ridge Hill and the town forest this fall. So Dave sort of made the proposal on how many would need and where would need them, and found the right quotes. And now the town has a purchase order cut. So we're just waiting to hear back from the vendor when we could get on the list and can move forward with getting posts in before the ground freezes. And then the Trails Advisory Group will work more at the leisure over the winter to get signs approved and fabricated for the posts. But the rush was to get the posts in before the ground freezes, so that's good news. The Trails Advisory Group, we have now a member joined from the Parks and Rec Committee, and hopefully later this month we will get buy-in from the Schools Committee and the Select Board, which would in essence complete the initial setup for that Trails Advisory Group. So that's one thing we're looking forward to, is having that together. And what we brought up last time was, commission members on the Trails Advisory Group, and there was a lot of interest from the commission. So using that interest, we thought it may be a good idea to establish a trails subcommittee as part of the Conservation Commission to also do trails work. So that's one thing I'm asking, if there's interest in forming ad hoc subcommittee of the Trails Subcommittee of the Conservation Commission to work with and support the Trails Advisory Group hand in hand. And what that would entail is potentially having on-site meetings at properties to discuss, how things are going to go, especially working through piece by piece the Trails Master Plan on different things. So we'll be looking at stuff like the signage initiative on locations and formats, and as things progress, also working on building out our volunteer program, better establishing that, and potentially even educational opportunities as we get closer to the tail end of the Trails Master Plan, and then the other greater goals of figuring out how to connect all of the walking trails in Needham eventually to be one walkable town. So that's the big picture. But the ask is if we want to form a trails subcommittee of the Conservation Commission. And I see Fred, your hand went up.
Yes, thanks very much. Would establishing a subcommittee eliminate the problem about the open meeting law restricting our communication outside of a regular Conservation Commission meeting?
Yes.
Wonderful. Okay.
Yep. And we still do need, so Dave will be part of the main Trails Advisory Group. I think we were looking to have another member of the commission as part of the main group. And that's when everyone started, showing interest in this initiative. So that's when we came up with the subcommittee. But I think we would still like to have one additional commission member to be on the Trails Advisory Group.
I will throw my hat in the ring, but others might also be interested. So I'm happy to just be one of the soldiers and.
So the Trails Advisory Group, I mean, we're picturing, you know, probably meeting quarterly or something like that, once it becomes established. So, you know, that's kind of what you're looking at.
Mhm.
Just kind of going over, the bigger projects and, you know, funding opportunities,
Things that need
that type of
buy-in
thing.
from schools, parks and rec, and select board, because it's not exclusively on properties we'd have control over.
Elena, you have your hand up? You got a question?
I didn't have a question. I was gonna say I volunteer as tribute, but if Fred wants to do it, because he spoke up first, he's more than welcome to.
Well, let me think about it, because I'm also pretty heavily involved in the tree preservation committee at the moment. So yeah,
And
so it
you will
might
have
be,
the opportunity if we have the subcommittee to be involved, you know, if you think that you're too
yeah.
busy for the main group, so.
So I got a suggestion for the subcommittee. Why don't we make everybody on the commission part of the subcommittee? And we can have updates at our regular bi-weekly meetings.
Yeah, I agree. I think that is what our plan is.
That way there would be no conflict with the open meeting law.
Yeah, I think he was thinking about if we're meeting together on sites, you know, whether that is a quorum that,
Well, as long as we're not discussing anything relative to a hearing, you know, before the Conservation Commission, I don't think there's any exclusion about getting together
no, I agree.
And it
Yeah.
would be in, right?
in person.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, Sue. That is part of the criteria, is it
And
will be
then
in
the
person.
then the virtual parts. So I like that idea of when getting the agenda together for everyone under other business, we can just perennially have Trails Subcommittee update as a standing bullet, so that if we did have a on-site anywhere to talk about a trail that needs help, or identifying issues or anything like that, anybody that wasn't available for that trail walk won't miss out, and then the public can also be informed.
I would assume too, it would be a lot of walking trails, the subcommittee too. Wouldn't it involve walking trails
Hey,
with the committee?
Yeah.
you don't have to be on a subcommittee to walk the trails. Yeah.
No, I
Yeah, it
know.
wouldn't be so much walking, maybe a lot of standing.
Yeah, we should be walking the
Oh.
trail.
I'll walk with you, Sue. We can go for a walk.
Yeah, we should be
Sure.
walking constantly.
Actually, I did walk
Sign me
way
up. Sign
with,
me up.
I did walk all the trails way back with Karen Pierce. Um,
Oh, they
and-
haven't changed, right?
Yes.
I
think-
can we ask who the vendor is?
Excuse me?
Can we ask who the vendor is?
It's Premier Fence.
Yeah, we have just one vendor to,
Yeah, a fence
Okay,
company
put
to
in the
put in the
posts.
posts.
yeah,
Reasonably, they were well equipped for the job.
yeah. I just hope they get back to us soon enough. Because we took our time getting back to them, so maybe tit for tat. But anyway, I'm confident they'll do a good job. They know the scope of the work.
So I think to second Fred's concern, I would love to participate. I would love to continue supporting. I cannot do the advisory. I think that's gonna take a lot of brain power and a lot of work, but I am definitely open to doing subcommittee work, going out in the field, checking whatever needs to be checked. or supporting in whatever needs to be supported on the educational component of it, which is huge, or even going to, neighbors' homes and letting them know that the trail is, 20 feet from their backyard or things like that. But I think the advisory requires someone who can really dedicate some time, energy, and creative input. And with the tree preservation being so demanding right now, I do believe that I need to just step back from that. And, you know, I think Paulina would be great.
I
to do
second.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, so we could formally nominate somebody.
Sounds
I
like
would like to,
Paulina.
yeah, I would like to nominate Paulina.
Okay?
If somebody else really wants to do it, I'm not,
Well,
We can-
it's,
we can take
I'm
turn-
happy to
we-
share.
No,
I'm happy
sorry.
to share.
Okay, somebody want to second the nomination?
I second.
Okay, so let's vote to appoint Paulina as our Trails Advisory Committee representative. Um,
Aye.
I,
Somebody seconded it, okay.
Oh, second.
and it makes sense too, because I know Fred and Clary are both with the tree preservation. And I've been with the stormwater, and Dave certainly had all his, and Dave would be on it. But I mean, it makes sense unless Bill or Reed. Anyway, that's
All right,
all I have to
well,
say.
we're voting on a
Yeah,
second nomination.
Bill, would you like, Bill, Reed, would either of you like to
Uh,
do it? I'm not, I don't want to hijack that. I was just like, if nobody
No, no,
wanted.
No, this is not a.
Thank
question
you for
about-
asking.
This
It
is a-
sounds like a great job, but I'm full of different things right now.
We're not. We have a motion, a seconded motion before us. So if we want to withdraw that and start from scratch, we can do that, or we can vote on the motion.
Let's vote.
So, all right, let's vote. Paulina,
Aye.
Bill,
I'm so-
Aye.
Reed,
Aye.
Fred,
Aye.
Clary,
Aye.
Sue,
Hi.
and the chair votes aye. Okay, congratulations.
All right. One step closer to getting the advisory group together. And for everyone else, I'll be reaching out when we have good ideas of time or good ideas of task or what we need answered for availability polls to see who can make it out for the subcommittee stuff. Because I do foresee the subcommittee, giving formal recommendations and input to the advisory group. And I'm sure once formed, the advisory group would take into strong consideration what the Concom's Trails Subcommittee recommends or came up with or did the legwork for.
I think that's a wonderful idea, the subcommittee.
Thanks, I thought of it.
Oh, good. Great way to all get together on one thing too.
Yeah.
I am so tickled that we're gonna have some in-person meetings, Sue.
Yay.
Boy,
Mhm.
I met
Yep.
Dave for the first time this week.
I'm
I
not
know,
gonna,
I couldn't believe that.
That was exciting.
Yeah.
what was exciting?
I met
Uh,
Dave
She
for the
met- she
first
met
time
me.
this week.
Remember when you first met me, how excited you were?
It's
We
the
might
way
even-
everyone reacts.
I'm not,
We might even meet each other's dogs.
Oh,
Oh, I like
interesting.
that.
Yeah, I mean, if we're at a dog-friendly property and your dog is well trained, I don't see why that won't work.
Yeah,
Uh,
nice.
And
All right.
yeah,
We
so I
had-
guess
I was gonna say, we had one final thing on the
yeah, actually
Well, we have a
two
couple things.
couple other quick things. One is the Harvest Fair is officially slated for Sunday, October 5th, 11 to 3. So that's 4 hours. We have a table. Conservation has a table. Myself and Deb are planning on being there. And this is a quick poll and shout out if anybody wants to take a shift or be there to help staff the Conservation Commission to the public. It might be a good day, might not, but either way, we'll have fun.
I'd be glad to help out.
October 25th, is that what you said?
Sunday the 5th
Oh,
So-
Sunday. Oh,
Yeah.
of October.
of October
Yep.
5th. Yeah.
Yeah, it's coming right up.
And we
Oh.
will have the ever popular stormwater model there.
Oh, yeah, this table was the most popular table at the whole Harvest.
Yeah.
Fair.
And that,
Last year, Fred, Clary, and Bill and myself were there, and we were taking turns dumping water on the little little model of
Yeah, it's a lot
wetlands
of
and all
fun.
that, and yeah, it was fun. A lot of people, a lot of kids stopped by, and
We
Express.
talked about, we gave a little spiel, a little demo on that thing. And we talked
Yeah.
about that the next year, which is coming up, that we might have a clock that said next demonstration at 2:30. Do you remember we talked about that? 'Cause-
Oh, yeah.
And so then people would come rather than randomly come and.
That's a
you
great
know,
idea.
Do you have
So-
such a clock, Bill?
I don't have such a clock, but I'm
You
willing
make
to
one.
put it together.
But to say I'm
Because I can't
crafty. I
make it-
can make one out of
can't make it that
cardboard.
Sunday, I have a wedding, an out of state wedding I have to go to. I'm looking forward to going to.
Great.
On the Harvest Fair, the Tree Preservation Committee is also having a table.
Really?
So, yes, because there's a lot of awareness and they're planning something. I don't know yet what my schedule is going to be, but if you want, you can do a sign up, Genius. Maybe we can sign up for a couple of hours or so.
So just to be, I mean, we don't need anyone
okay.
from the commission. We're gonna be there the whole time. But you guys did help out last year. It sounded like it went really well. So we wanted to just open it up. So don't feel obligated,
But
but
the more the merrier.
Yeah.
I appreciate your willingness to share the fun.
Mhm.
of course.
Yeah, you
Of
gotta
course, you
pry
are
those
the
little cars
commission.
out of my hand, though.
Mm. So anyways, just give it some thought. We still have another meeting before then, so
For the tree
let us know.
preservation committee, do you want your booth under a tree?
Oh, do you have
Oh,
some?
yeah,
are
we
you-
need ours under a tree.
Ooh,
I
yeah.
brought that up.
Could we be next to the tree preservation? I mean, have it be the whole environmental
know.
world right there.
Well, and I think the Climate Action Committee might also have a table. They did last year.
Yes, I'm not sure.
Wow.
Well, Gabby manned that one last year, so I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Well, all the town people were on like in a row, but there's only a few trees, And so one year, Deb and Clay were
Yeah,
out in the sun. It was really brutal.
it
But-
was very brutal.
Now, my daughter, who was a high school classmate of Polina's, is the organizer of this event. So I can
Oh,
I can get special
Yep.
spotting of tables.
You do that for us.
what's her
Much
name, Dave?
appreciated.
Excuse me,
What's her name?
my daughter's name, Catherine.
Yeah. What is it?
Catherine,
And what's her last name?
same as mine, Hera.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I'll look forward to meeting her.
All right.
So I
Oh.
have something to
Oh, we
ask.
got one more thing.
Okay, all right.
So, as some of you might know, there is a long-term planning that's moving into more specifics regarding the replacement of the Pollard Middle School in Needham, and so there's several committees that are managing this effort, namely the Public Building Committee and the Permanent Public Building Committee and the School Committee. And they've been having all kinds of, community input events. There's still more planned. They have a webpage and all that, but Deb, Polina and I went to a meeting earlier this week where they were laying out some of the plans that were on the table. They have like 8 different, 7 or 8, I can't remember, different possibilities. But you can boil them down into like 3 categories. One is they would renovate the school and put an addition onto it, which I don't think anybody wants to do because it's really problematic and, you know, invasive on the kids and all that. The other 2 plans were, one would be to put it down around the DeFazio parking lot. It would take away some of the at least 1 or maybe 2 of the playing fields, and it encroaches on the wetlands down there by the tot lot. And then and that would be a completely new building. And then the other plan would be to put the building at the lower part of Pollard where the current field is. If for those of you who are familiar with Pollard School. So I think, Tim, you have a couple plans that we can show everybody.
Yeah, let me see if I can get those up for reference.
And just a reminder, we still have to go over the draft order and
Oh, yeah.
issue the permit for Winfield.
Okay, so anyway, I think what the committees want to do is you know, make a decision really quickly about what the favorite site is, because they've submitted information to the there's like a state school building committee that could fund up to 25% of the school as long as we follow their protocols and their orders. And we're talking over $300 million for the school, which is going to be a major impact. But anybody who's familiar with Pollard's school would agree that this is really needed. And it's been in the planning for quite a while. And at this point, it's unclear which site's going to be selected. But if the lower site by DeFazio is selected, then there would be some involvement with the Conservation Commission. Yeah, so Tim is showing the
Yeah, there we go.
You can see
Toggle it
that-
on and off. There you go.
yeah, if you're familiar with DeFazio, you see the track, which is a sort of a oblong thing. Can you take off the wetlands for a second? Yeah, then you see that, like in the lower left, there is a ball field. I forget what the name of that is. The
Asa Small.
yeah, well, Asa Small is the Little League field, which is really
Oh, sorry, thought you were talking about that.
it's between the 2 left arms of the school building. If you look really closely, you can see it. And then, you know, some of the gray area is the existing parking lot, but they're going to get into some new parking areas. All the way to the lower right is the Public Works building. If you could turn on the wetland. Yeah, so these are the wetland areas. And the light green, I guess, is the buffer zone.
Yes.
I wish I could show you a picture of what this looked like, you know, 100 years ago. It was like a big wetland, and then across Dedham Ave was a big wetland. But you know, it's all been developed, and so what we see here is what's left over. All the way over to the right, it's off the map is the reservoir. And there's a couple streams that flow in the reservoir, and that all goes under Dedham Avenue and flows into another stream, Alder Brook, that then goes to the Charles. And at the lower part of this, you see like a horizontal ditch in dark green that kind of parallels Dedham Avenue. That's like a drainage ditch that used to be part of the stream. And then these wetland areas kind of feed into that. So it's hard to say what the impact will be now. This is still really very conceptual plans. I think the biggest issue here is going to be, handling stormwater. It's already a problem because of the parking lot
Yeah.
at the Fazio. I know that there is a smaller project kind of towards the lower right that Gabby had presented to us, a month or so ago, that the town is trying to get funded to put in a holding pond, a small holding pond. And then there's a bigger picture project that if there's no school down here, they were going to put in a holding pond at the edge of the existing parking lot, and they may have to pave the parking lot. I don't know, but anyway, if they choose this location, then obviously there would be some homework for us moving forward.
There's a lot of flooding in that area anyway, presently, isn't there?
Not a lot. I think the flooding was due to if you go further up Dedham Avenue, George Agate Road, which we had reviewed a couple of houses, or at least one house in that corner. There is a channelized or armored part of Alder Brook, and there's a culvert that goes under the George Agate Road, and that got plugged up and it flooded out a couple houses upstream of that. And we were, I think it was last week of the week, or last meeting of the meeting before, the town presented their plan to upsize the culvert under George Agate Road. And
Mm.
it was like Jason from the town presented that project.
Justin.
Oh, I'm sorry, Justin, yeah. So it's pretty straightforward. But that whole area is like historical wetland, and I think if they get that, the channel was quite deep on both sides, and if they can, remove the restrictions like the culvert, I think that would, alleviate to a great extent some of the flooding. Of course, you got to remember the flooding that happened. I think it was like 2 summers ago. There was like 7 inches of water in a day. So, normally we wouldn't see that kind of storm.
So Dave, out of curiosity, I know was there a hearing, I believe, yesterday on this topic, and at what stage are they on right now?
They've presented it to several different groups, and they well, they were
Yeah.
talking about their timeline at a chair vice chair meeting yesterday. So they presented it to a few different committees. Obviously, Park and Rec is not in favor of them using DeFazio. So there hasn't been a hearing on it. They've just been kind of presenting it to different groups.
I don't think there's going to be a hearing. It's really they want to make sure they get public input and
Okay.
And all that. But there is a website. I don't know the address of it, but if you Google Pollard School Project or whatever, and there's all the information you can imagine is on their website, including presentations, some of the information that's out there. It's very conceptual right now. They got seven different configurations, and they want to narrow it down. But they also want to comply with the requirements of this state school building committee, because again, that's up to 25% of the funding.
Right. No, I was just curious in what stage it was. So,
It's very conceptual at this point.
yeah.
But they want to kind of move into the preliminary design phase.
But this is the leading option at the moment.
There is no leading option,
Okay.
but I think there is some feeling, and I mean, this is just my anecdotal observation, that the renovation addition part of it is just going to be too complicated, and nobody's really supporting that.
So they said that will take twice as long essentially as the
Yeah.
new build.
And just
Right.
be very disruptive, yeah.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
Needham had some experience with that.
But
like,
both sites have constraints with zoning, and Park and Rec in the fields, not having use of the fields for several years and,
I
so
think
it
the-
would,
Well
it would take
done.
buy-in from Park and Rec for the DeFazio
Yeah.
scenario to take place.
But it's gonna boil down to money at the end. It always
Well,
does.
they're saying that the money is equivalent
Comparable.
to both ways, but there's no details on that. Park and Rec has to vote to allow the land that would be used, part of the land that would be used, which is now under their jurisdiction as recreation. They have to vote to allow that to be used for some other purpose. And then it has to go to the state legislature because of Chapter 97, which I think is a amendment to the Constitution of the state, that you need to get buy-in for any transfer of conservation or recreation land for another use. So there are hurdles there. I don't think there's a lot of people advocating for the DeFazio site, and I think the Park and Rec are vehemently opposed to it. So that might kill it. I don't know. There are a lot of people advocating for the Pollard site, but down where the field is now. And then once the new school is built, they'll take down the existing school and put a couple fields up where the existing school is, which is in a higher elevation. If you got to be familiar with the top topography there. But anyway, this is still quite a ways away. That once they get everything done, then it has to go to the there has to be a debt override referendum, and then it has to go to town meeting. So it's a big deal, but it's going to take time. But again, all the concurrent timeline and all the details you can imagine are on the website that they have.
Oh, one thing is that they wanted you and Paulina to join the meeting on the evening of the 25th, which is our Concom meeting, to discuss the next steps, I guess. So I don't know. We'll
Well,
wait till we hear
maybe
more about that.
One of us could go. One of us could go, and the other one could run the
All right.
meeting.
I'm sure we'll hear more.
All right.
All right. Tim, could you pop up the Exhibit A if you have it handy?
Yeah.
Thanks.
See.
Should be in my email to everyone earlier.
I got it. And hold on, Word's just booting.
No worries.
Oh, here we go.
I've literally had a fly circling my head this entire meeting. It's quite unnerving.
Well, I think it's the same
This is
fly
not a
that
spider,
jumped
you
on me. Time of the year, I leave all windows, doors open.
Yeah, it is. It's gorgeous. Gotta air the house out. So you're pretty much all familiar. It's a pretty standard order. So it's gonna have that rear addition, landing, walkway, and patio. So if you want to go down to the special conditions. All right, pretty standard.
Yeah,
Keep
was there
going down. So pre-construction, number 11. So now we're requiring that at our pre-construction meeting or prior, we need evidence that the order, together with the signed stormwater management system O&M plan, has been filed at the Registry of Deeds.
Can I just ask a
Yeah.
question? I think, when we were discussing the changes to the regulations,
Mm-hmm.
and we agreed that we would want the O&M plan to be signed with the notice of intent so that when the order of conditions is issued, that the stormwater O&M plan would go along with it to the registry. I believe that's the way that the regulations are written, and I think we did that because that was what we thought.
Well, so we did have the requirement that we received it prior to issuing the certificate of compliance at the end of the project.
Yeah, that was the old. requirement.
Right. So now, since,
Well, again, I just thought it should sync with what we thought the stormwater bylaw was going to say, and I thought the stormwater bylaw was going to require that this gets submitted before the permit is issued or at the same time. And so that's the way we wrote the regulations. So
okay.
it's not a big deal, but we can always change the regulation.
Well,
Yeah,
Which
no,
one-
we're gonna have to tweak it anyways at some
Yeah.
point.
I just wanted to point that out.
so I think that's a good point because it's more streamlined if we kind of tie it in so that it's registered as a package and not independently. But again,
So it
it's
should be part of the order of conditions when that is recorded.
Right.
But he's saying that we should have the signed O&M plan with the notice of intent filing.
Well, I mean, as long as it goes along with the order of conditions, that's fine.
Okay, well, that's what that says.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Pretty
Yeah,
much says.
that's what it says. So, okay. So we're good with that. Okay, let's see. Just the note about dewatering, stockpiling, so planting. So they did have the planting plan that had 23 native shrubs, ground cover, and 2 different native seed mixes. So they need to let us know within 30 days so that we can start the 2-year monitoring clock. And the required mitigation planting area shall be maintained in perpetuity. No mowing is allowed in the planting area. So there's that requirement for 5 permanent markers. So apparently she wants to use the boulders, which is okay. You guys have approved that. There's no tree removal requested. So if they do want to remove trees at any time, that will need additional review and permitting.
Are
And
there
that-
trees? Are there any trees in the construction area? Because
It's
we had
being
put out-
constructed on existing lawn and the only trees will
Right.
be in that mitigation area.
okay.
Yeah. There isn't. So that is about it, unless you guys had anything you wanted me to add or revise.
Do we have a monitoring?
Yep. Planting, work,
Perfect.
and monitoring. Yep.
Perfect.
So that's in there. Anybody, anything else?
Looks good.
Okay.
All right, so I have a motion to approve the order conditions for 40.
64 Winfield Street.
My memory is gone. 64 Winfield Street. Thank you.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, let's vote. Clary,
Hi.
Bill,
Aye.
Sue,
Aye.
Fred,
Aye.
Paulina,
Bye.
Reed,
Aye.
and the chair votes aye. All right, great.
We'll let you know when the signature sheets are out.
Electronically?
Not
I
yet.
know, so
Mhm.
Not yet.
not yet. All right. Thanks, everyone.
I have
Thank you.
one question before we go. So
Oh,
sorry.
we gotta adjourn the meeting too.
Oh, okay, good.
But if you got a quick question, fine. Go ahead.
Deb, what is the existing process right now when zoning or anything happens in that end and they identify that there is a potential, but not necessarily a direct impact to Conservation Commission and the Wetlands Protection Act? Do they have an internal process to send it over for your review?
Yep,
Can you walk me
yes.
through what they do now?
Yeah, so their clerk, Daphne Collins, she does circulate their filings and requests any comments. So if we recognize that it's in our jurisdiction, then we'll comment that and they'll discuss that at their meeting. And we're most likely gonna be well informed of something in our jurisdiction before it gets as far as zoning. But there is internal review.
Okay, so internal review meaning any project at any given time is circulated to you just to take a look at it and make sure that it's not within our jurisdiction, the wetlands?
Yeah, I mean, anything that requires a building permit,
Okay,
that goes to every department. And we can stop the permit process and have them come to conservation, and they won't get their building permit until we sign off on it.
perfect.
So, you know, but specifically zoning, she'll usually circulate those and ask us for comment. So, you know, hopefully we have everything covered.
And usually that process takes, once they get does it take a couple of weeks? Does it take a month?
For the building department review, or, I
For
mean,
them
it's,
send those out, do they do it on a weekly basis? Do they do it as the projects come in?
so the applicant, fills it out electronically, on the building department. I forget the name of the system. Tim might know.
Oh, the OpenGov.
OpenGov. So they submit their application and it automatically goes to all the departments.
Got it.
And they upload their plans and backup information. And so each department reviews it and they sign off on it or don't.
Electronically?
Yes.
Nice.
And then, like I said, we can stop it and say, put a note in there, they need to come to conservation, we think they might be in our jurisdiction. And it won't go as far as getting the building permit until we sign off on it.
Perfect. That's what I needed to.
I would point out that like under our new regulations, we require any zoning issue or any Board of Appeals issue to be resolved before that comes to the Conservation Commission.
Mm.
Because
But
we've had,
we would be aware of it though, that it's in our
yeah,
jurisdiction.
we've had a couple instances where we had long drawn out discussion about, issuing order of conditions, which we did, and then it gets shot down by the Board of Appeals. So
So
it's
I
kind of,
think if I'm correct, electronically in OpenGov, every applicant submits all the requirements when they're going to request a building permit. And
Correct.
electronically, you would receive a notification that there's a project for your review and approval.
Yes.
And
Yep.
then if you decide that this is within our jurisdiction, you don't sign off, and then it automatically, they're sent over to you, or you tell them that they need.
Yep, then I would put a note in there that I can make public that the applicant, usually this happens and the builder is on us, like, you're the last one I need to sign off on this. What's the problem? So it usually happens very quickly.
Okay,
Once they submit their application.
and the
And
builder
it
will be able to see who has signed off.
yeah,
It's like a list of little green check marks.
Perfect.
And if there's a issue with jurisdiction, ours would be sort of like a yellow mark saying on, on hold.
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
Don't do anything until we turn our check mark green. And if, and
Mm-hmm.
in some cases, we won't turn that check mark green until they have a valid order of conditions.
Okay. This is good to know as Fred and I continue to do our conversations and, with the tree preservation committee. So
Oh, good.
thank you for this. I appreciate it.
Sure. No worries. And you can always, if you have questions about things, just give me a ring. I'm always happy to help.
There's also a public portal to the Viewpoint site as well. I don't think you get as much information as the town does, but you get the basic permit applications and stuff
What's
like.
the name of it?
It
It's
was
called-
known as Viewpoint,
Yeah,
but
Okay,
it's been rebranded to OpenGov.
okay.
You can
Um,
probably go on the building department website and have a link, I would imagine, from there.
Okay, I'll do some searching. Thank you.
Okay.
all right, so there's nothing else, somebody want to make a motion to adjourn?
So
I
moved.
think we already did.
We did? We got a second,
Second.
all those in favor?
Bye.
Bye.
Opposed? All right, thank you, everybody,
Good
Bye-bye.
evening, everyone.
Weekend.
Thanks.
Good night.
take care, bye.
Again.
Right. All right. Good night.
Good night.